Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new edition of our online interview series here at Commodity TV. And we want to talk today for an update with Russell Starr, the CEO of Trillium Gold Mines. Russell, good morning to Canada. How are you doing?
I'm good, Jochen. How are you?
Perfect. Thanks. All fine.
Excellent.
Here. And let's go directly into medias res. Trillium Gold closes acquisition of the Willis Property. So what does it mean for the company? I mean, you're paying $420,000, 400,000 common shares. That's a nice amount of money, I would say. But why did you buy? Did you bought the property?
Yeah, so it's not contiguous to Newman Todd and Rivard, but it's as close as you can be to contiguous. There's a sliver of land in between the two owned by Evolution, but it has the Newman Todd structure trending onto the property. And also what people need to know about Red Lake is anytime you can get your hands on really good property close to mineralization that you own, close to mineralization that someone else has been working on, you just have to jump on it. Red Lake is one of the most prolific jurisdictions in the world. And this is one of those 1 in a million properties that's been owned by a family for decades. Basically, nothing's been done on it. They did a Titan IP survey, which showed some really interesting mineralized characteristics. But for us, it's how do we make Newman Todd bigger? We're hitting really high grade, which we'll talk about later on in this interview. But having that project and clearly what we're going to do is try to obviously tie those three property packages together. We obviously will have to talk to Evolution about it, but you know, when you can create critical mass like that, it becomes a very, very I want to say surprising opportunity, just because Red Lake is just one of those jurisdictions that has gold everywhere. So
that's right. The only factor is it economic, but you find it really.
And we didn't pay a lot, and this is a good family. They'll stay long the shares, and so this is something where if we can turn it into 1 million or 2 million ounces, added on top of what we've already got at Newman Todd, you're looking at a mine, right? So, and how many companies do you have mine potential in that are trading at a $30 million market cap?
That's right. Absolutely. Okay. So it's like an investment in the future, but not too distant long future, I would say.
Exactly.
Super. Perfect. Then we heard that Barrick has optioned a big piece of land next to you. Is that right?
Yeah, it's incredible how few people are paying attention to the gold sector, the precious sector right now. Typically, if that happened in an environment where gold was bid, and it's surprising, you know, gold is at almost $1,800, and I'm commenting about gold being bid. $1,800 is incredible. But Barrick optioned a very large piece of property off of Kenorland. It was a property that Kenorland had staked just this summer, and Barrick did one of their long-dated 70% JV earn-ins on that piece of property. But it came with little or no fanfare from the market, which is kind of surprising, because when a major steps in and becomes your neighbor, you would think that it would cause a positive reaction in your stock, but it just goes to show how few people are actually paying attention to stuff like that. But you know, to me, that's a really positive sign that this is a jurisdiction that's not just hot right now from a majors perspective, but is going to become more and more intriguing from a junior perspective. And we are ideally situated, obviously being basically right next door, really close to Great Bear, and also having our advanced projects like Newman Todd and Gold Center.
Absolutely. So it's real elephant territory, that is for sure. And we both know, as we both know, Mark Bristow, he's always having a plan when he's doing something, right?
Oh, yeah. And you never want to comment or speculate.
No.
Other than it's a great testament to what we're doing.
Definitely. Okay, super. Then let's come directly to your other properties like Newman Todd, etc. You had like 4 weeks ago, I would say, really fantastic drill results, 9 meters at almost 20 grams gold per ton, including 1.5 meter with 102 grams gold per ton in hole NT 21194. So drilling is also ongoing. Can you please comment on that a bit?
Yeah, look, the assay labs, again, this just speaks to how weird this market is. The assay labs are completely overwhelmed with drilling. The majors are making money hand over fist and drilling thousands of meters. And you know, we're right around Evolution, Pure Gold. You've also got First Mining, their Springpole potential deposit. And so you get the assay labs slammed with all of their assays, and as a junior, you end up at the back of the bus. So we continue to drill. It's just the turnaround is 6 to 8 weeks right now, whereas, you know, in a typical market, it's only, you know, 3 to 5 weeks. So yes, we're drilling. We have 2 drills turning, one at Newman Todd, one at Rivard. And what's so incredible about the hole you just remarked upon is that it shows Newman Todd carries incredibly high grades, which, you know, what I'm trying to show the market that we're onto is, you know, a 2+ million ounce, maybe even more open pittable opportunity, but where you can actually target really, really high grade shoots, very, very similar to what's going on actually at Great Bear. And that hole was a follow-up to NT 169, which we drilled in October of last year, where we hit 7 of 15. And so we now have 7 of 15, and then 30, 40 meters away, we have 9 of almost 20. And we're currently drilling another 30, 40 meters away from that to see if this shoot is real and carries grade and obviously has length and width to it. And we believe it does. And if you can actually find more of those, and we believe we've got numerous identified and we'll be targeting them with our drill, again, you end up with one of those rare open pit opportunities where you can follow these high grade trends and drive economics aggressively.
Okay, so you were talking by now about open pit, but if I look at those real high grades, it seems to me like that they are also going deeper and deeper. So that means you can start with open pit and go underground.
Correct. Correct. And then you're talking about 5 to 10 million ounces, right? Like it's a game changer. And then you bring in Willis. You know, that we're trying to do what most juniors aren't able to do, and that's create district scale land packages. Obviously, as everyone knows, I worked with Ivan, who's an amazing guy, and Oren was a great story, and Caden as well. But you always want to create that district feel so that you become an appetizing target for a major, not just this little piece of land where you're trying to hit gold and hoping and praying that you intersect sort of the mother lode. So we're creating something that a lot of majors are paying attention to. We're starting to get a lot of fund interest incoming. And, you know, who knows what this market's going to bring in the next 2 to 4 months. All I know, and you and I talk about pretty regularly, is with the amount of fiat that's being printed globally, gold will have its day.
Yeah, to be honest, it should be already at 3,000 if I look at those amounts, but they still held it a bit down, as I would say it a little bit cautioned. But it looks to me like that the pressure is really rising and rising, and we see they cannot bring it really down, and they need billions of dollars to really sell the paper shit. And finally, the stuff is needed. Right?
Yes.
And when you buy physical, you don't want to have paper. And then it's like in the poker, show me.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
So exactly. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, please.
No, I was just going to say we're perfectly well situated to take advantage of that when and if it happens.
Yeah, that is absolutely for sure. This is also why I'm a shareholder of the company for sure. I read also here in your comment that your drilling you are doing at Newman Todd. You said that we believe going forward will be considerably impact our ability to target multiple east-west structural corridors, controlling the high-grade zones. And I read also that you want to understand the structural controls. Can you explain that a little bit in a more easy way for our viewers, what that really means? Because it is to me like, do the homework and then you know where to drill hard, right?
Yeah, so basically, the previous driller, who's now the driller for Great Bear, when I spoke to him initially, his remark to me was, look, I just knew at Newman Todd that every second or third hole was going to hit high grades. And that's a pretty bullish statement. But what we didn't know with all of that, it was 55,000 meters of drilling. So it's not a small amount of drilling.
Mm-hmm.
But they had no understanding of what the structural controls were for the underlying potential open pit, which we now believe, and maybe even underground. And so we spent probably the last 6 months really trying to understand, looking at core, orienting the core, and sort of simplify that statement. We now know that these east-west faults are intersecting the Newman Todd structure, which is carrying between 0.5 gram and 2 grams per ton gold almost throughout the majority of it. Mm-hmm. But where those east-west structures intersect Newman Todd, and then obviously your readers and listeners will remember my remarks about Rivard and just how high grade those veins are, and you can see them at surface. There's VG everywhere. So where those three factors intersect, you get these blowouts of high-grade mineralization. Mm-hmm. And that's what we now understand, and that's what we're following up upon. So effectively, if you can look at it, basically this is the Newman Todd structure. Mm-hmm. These are the east-west structures, and then you have these Rivard veins coming through them. And in those epicenters, you have high-grade blowouts of gold mineralization. And mm-hmm. the more we can find of those, and the more we can follow the larger and higher the probability that we bring a really meaningful potential mining opportunity for a mid-tier or major to acquire at some point in time in the near future.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's fantastic. So you just named it already with the reward style, because that was also something which I read on the comment from William Patterson, who is your vice president of exploration, that he was saying, but the highest grades are also associated with reward style quartz vening within the brecciated NT zone. That's Newman Todd, of course. Reward is also one of your great properties, I would say. So you have like from reward, the styling is also going into Newman Todd, so that means the geology looks very favorable, right?
Yeah, we actually now, we should almost stop calling it Rivard. It's been called that for decades. Really, it should be called the Newman Todd Project now. We now know that Rivard and Newman Todd are related, if not twins, very, very, very close to being brothers and sisters. And as we drill out Rivard, and as we drill out Newman Todd, and then we drill out the hanging wall to the, I always get the areas, it would be to the southeast of Newman Todd, you end up with basically an economic pit wall. So as you pull your pit walls out, you're actually mining Rivard gold and Newman Todd gold. And so that's what our goal is, and that's what investors should be excited about. And I always try to remark this to people. You know, our market cap, our share structure is extremely tight. Management and insiders own 40% of the company. We only have 58 million shares outstanding, fully diluted. Mm-hmm. And at a $35 million market cap with the Confederation Belt, who's now neighboring Barrick's property. And it's the jewel of that entire jurisdiction. It's what Dixie sits on, plus mm-hmm. Gold Center, plus mm-hmm. Newman Todd, Rivard, and now Willis. We are, in my opinion, one of the cheapest opportunities out there in the space. And mm-hmm. so hopefully we can bring some buying in and convince investors that this is a worthwhile opportunity that everybody should own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I'm totally with you, and this is how I understand it too. And this was one of the reasons why I am a shareholder. But I'm patient. I have time. That's not a problem, because I see this huge potential, definitely. And sometimes it's hard to wait. We all know that. Everybody thinks buying a share, it's only going up from the time of buying. That's not working, definitely. But when everything comes together, so let's put it a bit more into a big picture. So on how many holes we are still waiting for assay results that you can publish, and what would be then the conclusion out of that meeting? How much more do you have to do to bring a new resource estimate or update, if you want to say that?
I think time is a better way thinking about that, not necessarily drill holes. I think in the next 6 months, we'll probably be able to bring a resource to the market. And my hope is that it'll be greater than 2 million ounces.
There was a forward-looking statement for the regulators.
Yeah, it's just me. It's just me speculating, right? I can't guarantee that.
No, of course not.
It's a matter of drilling, right, and successful drilling. But the more we continue hitting these high-grade shoots, the faster that will occur. We have 4 holes from Gold Center in the assay lab. I think we have 1 or 2 holes from Newman Todd in the assay lab. 2 or 3 of the Gold Center holes should be coming any day now. And of course, if we hit anything there, that's the continuation of the Red Lake mine, and that's many multiples of the market cap of the current company. And then Newman Todd, we will continue drilling. I think we have another 3,000 meters we want to finish this year at Newman Todd, and at least another 3,000 meters at Gold Center. So 6,000 meters of drilling still to do this year, with 4,000 or 5,000 meters in the assay lab right now.
Wow, that's really a lot, definitely. Drilling costs money. What is cash in the bank?
$5.5 million right now.
That's enough to do all that.
Oh yeah, it might be 5 now. I just got to follow up with my CFO to see whether or not the Willis Property payment was post or pre, but it's either 5 or 5.5. But whether even using the lowball number 5, we still have enough money to drill and continue drilling and still have cash into the early new year.
Super. And you just named it already with the share structure. That's also important for me, because you cannot be taken over that easy.
No, and that's obviously our game plan, right? That's what every junior should aspire to. So. Exciting times ahead. I really hope that people start paying attention to this market, because it's frustrating. The entire gold space is very cheap, and it's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. The supply demand supports higher gold prices. Fiat printing supports higher gold prices. It's just, when is it going to happen? And when it does, like it did, I guess that was a summer and a half ago, the market ripped, right? Like we were $2.70. So hoping for better times.
Definitely, that's what we do. Well, Russell, thank you very much. It was a great update, and we look forward to your drill results, of course. And please keep hitting us hard with good results.
You got it, Jochen. Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Russell Starr, the CEO of Trillium Gold Mines, and you heard it. The drills are turning. At least there are 6 to 8 holes are still pending, and if they keep hitting like this, I would say it's very, very obvious that this is really something big. And as Russell speculated already by himself, a resource for next year, maybe 2 million ounces. Let's hope for that. That would be fantastic. And if you put this into the context of a $30–35 million market cap, to be honest, let's say it in some street words, this is a joke, the market cap. It must be much, much higher. That is for sure. And I really can only urge you, have a very, very good look on Trillium Gold Mines. If you own it, fantastic. Maybe you have to average down. This is what I will do, definitely. And make sure you get some, because Red Lake is hot. Barrick is stepping into the game. Evolution is there. Great Bear might be also taken over. Then we will see what's going on. A lot of the big let's say mid-sized gold producers, they are really searching for good projects where they can build the next mine, because there was no time for exploration, no money for exploration, and now they really need future production potential. Trillium Gold Mine will be such a target. This is for me for sure. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Switzerland.